TheBradRules.
How's it going, guys? And I wanted to talk about one of my favorite things having to do with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1987 series, and that's the very first season, the mini-series. Yeah, 5 episodes, but a tremendous season that got its point across, sold the toys gangbusters, and just made the Turtles household names and made them one of the biggest properties of all time. So, they were all set with this. They got Toei Animation. Yeah, the same guys that animate Dragon Ball. Obviously not all the same artists, but you get what I mean. And they made a pretty visually stunning series of cartoons that really wowed everybody. I mean, these are 5 episodes here that, had some really good continuity to them. We're introduced to Shredder in the first episode. We hear the origin story. Then in the second episode, we get to see the Technodrome. We're introduced to Krang. So we get to see some really good, eventful stuff here. And this second episode here, I mean, we get to see the Turtles battling against a series of robots inside the Technodrome. We get to see the wonders of the Technodrome, and it's so mysterious. And, we're like, wow, like, look at this place. It's, just something straight out of the future. And it is, visually stunning to say the least. And then we get the third episode. We're introduced to one of the most classic villains in all of TMNT that goes even outside the 1987 series, and that's Baxter Stockman. And we're introduced to the Mousers, and another good episode that takes things in a different direction. Then in the fourth episode, we get to meet the Neutrinos, which are actually do-gooders that are from the same dimension as Krang. And they have been the victims of war at the hand of Krang and his minions. So this is a pretty exciting episode, and we get to see the first appearance of General Trag and Granitor, who has his only appearance here. And I like how they try to change the weather with that device. And there's a really cool scene where Leonardo just jumps right out of one of the Star Cruisers and destroys it. So that's like a really epic scene. I love that scene. That is like, I don't know. I think back to it, and that is just such like a cool little iconic scene there for me. There's also another really cool scene where both General Trag and Granitor come after the Turtles and the Neutrinos when they're hanging out at an arcade, and they use the Turtle Van against them, and that's just a really cool, nice action scene. And then we wrap things up where finally Krang, who has been begging Shredder over the last few episodes, he even goes out of his way to make sure that Shredder loses and that all the Mousers get destroyed in the third episode. He actually sabotages Shredder's plot. He helps out Michelangelo by destroying the central computer. Just so Shredder is convinced that he has no other option but to help out Krang. So here Krang finally gets his android body, and it's awesome. They put in this molecular amplification chip. He grows big, and it's like this huge, like Godzilla style fight, where they got to get the turtle blimp involved and actually go inside the suit. So I think it's like a really awesome way to cap things off here. And, we also get Bebop and Rocksteady in these episodes, and their, first few forays with them. So it's pretty damn epic. This is like a really cool little mini-series that introduces you to the main cast of villains, who you're going to be seeing for quite a few seasons, to say the very least. And it introduces us to the personality of the Turtles. We get to hear the theme song for the first time. We get to meet April O'Neil and see what she's up to. So everything is established pretty nicely. That's, all set to go forward and be one of the biggest extravaganzas of all time in pop culture.
There's also so many great lines of dialogue from this season. You really have to appreciate the dialogue here because some of it is so quotable and hilarious and has stuck with me ever since my childhood.
What say you, all-wise sensei? Oh, okay. I say, throw the bomb out!
What is it, Raphael? A threatening note? Where's the net? It's the check!
That's quite a brain you've got, Craig.
Of course it is. It's all I've got.
So yeah, these 5 episodes are really something special that I definitely recommend that you guys all watch. I mean, this is just some epic stuff. We also get to hear some great music. I am just so floored that we have never gotten an official release of the soundtrack to the 1987 series. There are so many good tracks, and it's very hard to find this music without sound effects or voiceovers clouding it. I would love to just be able to sit there and listen to the soundtrack, take it all in, hear everything. A lot of times I do that even going back to the 1987 cartoon, which is quite frequently. Sometimes I let my ears hone in on that amazing soundtrack because it really is just that good. I absolutely love it. So yeah, there was somebody who remade the soundtrack, some of the tracks over on Bandcamp. So you could go search that up if you want. They're okay, but I really want the authentic tracks. I don't understand why they don't just put them out there, like why that's so crazy, like why they're not on Spotify or why they can't just sell it. Like what's the big deal? They don't have those audio tracks. I'm sure they do. I don't get like why they're not there. We've seen like T. Lopes, do a rendition of the theme for the Turtles' Lair for the Shredder's Revenge, and it's like really good. But when you listen to that original track, it sends shivers up your spine. And let's face it, every single time, because it is available here on YouTube, and I played it in the background in some of my videos, they have the Technodrome theme. And when you hear that come in, I mean, that just is like, wow, you're in for some Shredder and Krang goodness over in the Technodrome. So yeah, this little mini series is fucking awesome, and I greatly recommend that if you have not watched these episodes or you haven't seen the 1987 series, give it a shot because I think you'll enjoy it. And guys, that just about does it for this video. I really enjoyed this trip down memory lane, so let me know what you think in the comments down below of the first season of the 1987 series. I'd love to discuss it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bells to get all notifications when I post all my new videos. I want to thank all my subscribers for your continued support, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.